Okay, we're going to come to order. Call for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag is in the back right corner. Please move your hats. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
What's that? Yeah.
Okay, we all see the copy of the agenda. We have it. Roll call. Gary Blaylock.
Here.
Skip.
Here.
Carol's here.
Here.
Paul's excused from absence. Paul is excused. Okay, public comments are opening now. You have 3 minutes. Skip, get the clock ready.
Got it. Whenever whoever wants to.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Garrity. I live on North Channel Drive. At the last meeting, you talked about a millage, and obviously people are interested because that would affect our taxes on the island. So you're asking us, obviously, to participate in funding the next phase of your endeavor, which we all are in favor of, by the way, as far as the mission. It's my understanding that that would raise $866,000 per year or $4.3 million over 5 years. You mentioned a feasibility study. Can you share with us the cost of that feasibility study, and can you share with us the, who's doing the feasibility study and what are they actually doing? We're going to be paying for that, obviously. So, can you share that information, or is it posted somewhere? You also mentioned property that you'd like to purchase with that funds, with those monies. Where is that property? Can you share that? And what's the intended use for that property? Is that the landing site? Can you share more details there? And more importantly, as the go-forward plan after the tax, there's mentioned a business plan, obviously after this money's raised, which would be nowhere near enough to launch a ferry service. What's the business plan going forward, and what level of confidence can you instill in the community that we're going to get to the end goal, right? The new ferry service at $5 a round trip. So those are the kind of details I'm interested in, just to understand how I would like to vote, on the millage, if it gets it on, on the ballot, obviously. So, can you guys address any of those questions? Is it posted somewhere? Where can I find that information?
I thought most of that was on the website.
I answered those questions already to you, Kevin, and
No, I didn't get anything from you.
I sent emails that it's $175,000 for the feasibility study, but I think we're keeping it just to public comments tonight.
Okay.
You can email the board, right? Is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah, he can email, he's got our web address, he's got yours obviously too. So
And
just
I
email
told you
the
about the
board.
property. The property owner does not want to disclose where it is, and they cannot disclose it.
Who asked for the non-disclosure? The property owner or
Yes.
HITA? The property owner did?
Well, I think that's
Can you
my
guys answer that?
understanding.
You guys signed it.
You'll
Can you
have to
answer that?
email the question, and then the board.
So you guys aren't taking questions, just comments?
Just
Okay.
comments.
Correct.
Thank you.
But you're duly noted.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next.
I think that if I'm spending my money, that I should know what is happening. If you want my money,
Oh, we need
Please
your
state
name.
your name and address, please.
Wendy Lenz, 6850 South Channel. I would like to know where my money's going. It's a lot of money. And what it's for. I'm happy. I can go on a trip for that money.
Thank you for your comment. Mark?
I'd just like to know, or make sure, that there is a designated date where this millage will stop. So that it's not an ongoing millage that just keeps going indefinitely,
No.
whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100 years, whatever that date is. I would like to know if there is an end date to this millage.
I'm sorry, so this is Mark who, and what's his address?
Mark
Doing
Shea,
that?
739 North Channel.
Okay, I'm sorry, because everyone else said that.
Okay.
What was his address?
My name's Edwin Fisher, I live at 1178 South Channel. You know, my number one concern is I'm a business person, and you know, I look up there, and you're all, I'm sure, intelligent, hardworking people. I don't see one business person. And I don't like the fact that I had to find out by getting a phone call from someone. It seems like it's a little sneaky. And I don't like the fact that my neighbors didn't know. What, you're gonna post it on Facebook? I mean, and you set up a meeting, what, 2 days in advance, a day in advance, and you make it at 6 PM on a Friday night when you know the church is having a function, you know people are getting home from work and it's the beginning of their week and they have plans. So I'm pretty disappointed with how you're handling it so far. So my concerns for the future are
Duly noted. Thank you for your comment. Anybody else?
Brian Doyle, 213 Monroe. My question and my understanding is that these funds are being raised for a study. And what's the potential that the study determines that we're not going to go forward, and then we're $4.3 million, what happens to that money? Do we buy the property? What happens to the property if it was purchased and the project doesn't go forward?
Thank you for your comment. Anybody else?
Rich Sullivan, 7030 Middle Channel. Yeah, I'd like to just kind of add to the feasibility study question. How ready are we for the feasibility study? I think the first thing that's going to happen when somebody's hired for that is they're going to have a lot of questions, and we're going to have to line up what all of the parameters are for going forward. And they're going to be very difficult questions. So have we tried to write down what we think all of those questions are going to be, and then also try to answer them for ourselves in order to understand kind of if we're ready to do a feasibility study? I mean, they're going to ask difficult questions of, you know, everything from budget to, you know, property values, you know, more than cost, but then getting into engineering and architecture and where does a barn go and how do you maintain a ferry, and, you know, a lot of difficult questions. So I think setting up that matrix to begin with would teach us an awful lot. I don't know if you've done that yet or not. But anyway, that's kind of my comment, and that's what I'll be basing my vote on.
Okay. Thank you.
My name's Andrea Stefaneko. I'm at 3110 South Channel. I've been coming to these meetings, almost all of them, for the last 2 years, so I know what's going on. I don't have a question. I just wanted to comment and say that I do know what's going on because I've been to almost all of them.
Thank you.
Can you tell us then what's going on? Why we need another phase?
No,
I can't see the study going
I
forward.
can't because it's not a question.
There's not
It's not a question answer.
Okay, hold on. This is not an argument. This is a question and answer. The lady got her answer. It's a question, there's no answer, right?
I guess we all have a lot of questions. We want to know what.
Then maybe you should have been here at some of these other
I've been
meetings.
to them. I've been to them.
Let it go, stop, please stop, please. This is not an argument session. This is just comments to the board, please. Any more? Okay, we're going to close public comments. All right, we got to adopt the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Okay.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
see-
he can't make the motion because he wasn't here.
Yeah, that's right.
Skip, I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and make the motion
Okay.
that we file the minutes of November 11th, 2023 as written.
I'll second. Take a vote. Gary?
Aye.
Skip?
Yes.
Harold, yes. Dennis?
Yes.
Old business. Okay, so we really don't have any old business. We're gonna go with chairman's comments. So I came across this little study today that was sent to me from Michigan State University that we were part of. And it kind of goes with what we were talking about, the MDOT study for ferry services and responsibilities. It says determine the state and federal transportation responsibilities to residents on islands. Skip, I know you read through this.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting report, and it's going to be posted, if it's not already, it'll be on our website.
Is it on the website, Mark?
Not yet.
Okay.
This is the research study that we've talked about at previous meetings that Michigan State contacted me about. And they're doing it for Michigan Department of Transportation, I think particularly because we've had so many concerns to look into what responsibilities they have to us, any residents on any islands. So it was only just completed this year in June of 2023. So there's a lot of, it's 200 and some pages. It'll be, a link will be on the website to a PDF for you in the near future.
Light reading.
Summary of it, at least?
Oh, you're going to get a summary. You're going to get a summary, right? We're going to go through a little bit of blurbs. It will be on the website, so just look for this. Did you get that?
Want a close-up? Yep.
So it'll be on the website. It should be there soon. I'm hoping we get it going. And I was thumbing through it here, and it had a couple of good things about it, because it talks about Nemish Island, which I've been talking about, Sugar Island. It talks about all kinds of islands that we have in the state of Michigan. And then it's got Boys Blank Island on there. It's got Harsens Island on there. There's a couple, like on page 9, we were talking about it. They were talking here. The Harsens Island ferry operator has no eligible assets to receive public funding while Boys Blank Ferry does. However, both Harsens Island and Boys Blank Ferry operators are not interested in receiving state and federal funding assistance, as they would like to remain independent and not attached to any state or federal bureaucracies. Well, it's funny, Skip, we were at a meeting, weren't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, somebody was trying to get Act 51 money from one of our representatives talking about it. And we were at the same meeting that we were talking about this. Who's being disingenuous?
Did you say Champion can't or can?
Cannot.
Cannot.
Then it goes over here to page 150. You might want to write these pages down and look at these pages. It goes to 115. Boys Blank and Harsens Island. It says here, Champion Auto Ferry has no public assets, therefore it does not qualify for FDP capital or operational funding. They asked us for $56,000 for repairing one of their engines on one of their things when we talked to them. Neither private operator are interested in receiving state or federal funding assistance, as they would like to remain operational control and financial flexibility without the need of adhere to public funding recipients or bureaucracies. Then you scroll right down here to one of the bullet points, and it says, this is one of the problems. It says, services provided by a single service operator who has pricing power and lack of any competition might not be perceived positively by the public. These conditions might lead to natural local monopolies that hurt public welfare when there's a lack of accountability to serve with a satisfactory level of service. This is Michigan State. This is not me or the HITA board. Due to current levels of service that is deemed by some island residents as below satisfactory due to the concerns regarding safety, aging infrastructure, service reliability, and high service costs. This is their thing, not us.
I read their last paragraph.
Which paragraph? What paragraph would you like me to read?
No, that's 115, where it says the state.
Oh, well, it seems like, okay, I'll read this one. It seems like there is a need for a state authority to step in and improve service quality and affordability, as local township authorities have little influence on their operations according to the provided feedback by some residents. That's not HITA board saying that. That's not HITA board saying we're not working with the Brysons.
The study delves into a lot of other things too. It covers not only ferry operations in the state of Michigan, which it goes into pretty good in-depth on, but also the rest of the country. It lists out the states that have them and not, who responded to the survey from Michigan State and who didn't. There are some pretty interesting things. It gets into best practices, which was interesting, maintenance programs. It's really an in-depth study. I mean, I spent 5 hours in this, waiting through this afternoon, and it's no more than I did earlier. So I encourage everybody to take a look at it. There is some summary sections in it, and you really do get out in the weeds in it, but it's worth taking a good look at.
Yeah, because it's got average age groups in it, household incomes, it goes through a whole gamut. But basically it talks about Nevis Island, Sugar Island, everything for HITA. You know, it's just, it's very interesting reading.
Go to page 148.
148.
Where it read where.
I only went up to 150 today, skip read the whole thing.
Yeah, now they put it out to 141.
You just read 10, just read 10.2.2, and then flip over to 149. Very important.
All of them?
No, just the top statement.
Okay.
So where it just says final recommendations.
Oh, okay, so what is this? Okay, final recommendations, this is opportunities and access fundings. Any MDOT contributed.
No. Just.
You read it.
Okay, so this whole summary that they sent us, so on page 148, this just goes to 10-2-2, final recommendations for Manitou, Boise, Blanket, Grand, and Harsens Island. And then it jumps right into, on page 149, on the second paragraph, it goes, Harsens and Boise Blanc Islands, both ferry operators are not interested in receiving state and federal funding assistances, as they would like to remain independent for-profit operators and not attached to any state federal bureaucracies. And that's, like I said, this is from the MDOT report done by the state, or Michigan State.
So it's very good reading. I implore you to read this.
It's a lot to read.
Yeah, it'll take you about 4 hours. Well, some people have them in speed reading. Okay, so that's all my comments. Skip, you got anything?
Nope, Maureen?
Okay, so, just as everyone, as the board has instructed me, and we know people are going to be asking questions, I am putting together one pager that I've given out to all of you with a lot of information, a lot of facts. Of course, you said we need to run it by our attorney before we actually distribute it, put it on our website, or share it. I can tell you a few things from it that are absolutely true. You know, I mean, everything in it is true, but I don't know what we can share and what we can't. But the HITA board was created, this new people here today, due to the concerns of the people. HITA initially requested and received state funding to support alternative transportation to and from Harsens Island. Alternative transportation has been in the master plan of the township for 3 years, and the board has spent the public money wisely, but now the funds have almost expired, so they need to establish community support by providing basic funding to move forward. Just a little information about the millage. The basic funding includes a 4.5 millage. This will give HITA approximately $866,000, which will be spent as follows. $115,000 will be to complete the feasibility study, which allows HITA to apply for grants. The complete study was $175,000. We've already paid $61,000 of it. It's all ready to proceed. We just have to have the funds to complete it. A large portion of the money will be spent for the property only when the feasibility study is finished. HITA has been paying monthly on an option to purchase agreement on that property. The location was necessary to begin the feasibility study. They've already done a lot of study on the land, as you know. $30,000 will be spent for a grant writer to apply for grants. The remainder, at least the first year, will be for day-to-day operations, make payments to a private investor, because there will be a private investor involved who will be assisting in the purchase of property and other things that are needed. When more monies come in through additional funding, that'll be committed by the private and public entities like state and federal funding. Then HITA will form agreements to build the ferry port, the infrastructure, and purchase ferries. It's going to be a non-profit ferry service. If the project is not feasible, HITA would not continue the millage. And the HITA board positions are unpaid, and people don't know that. All the work here is done with a true care and commitment for the community. As you requested, I'm going to put the ballot language on the website, but we had to wait until it was approved. And that is the reason for this meeting tonight, for the gentleman in the back who said we planned this at the last minute at a bad time because there's other things going on. It was not our intention to plan this meeting, as the board has mentioned, but the deadline to get the ballot language in is Tuesday, so we had to have this meeting today so we can get it in on Monday and make sure everything's good. So that's why this meeting tonight. This is what the ballot language will read. The county and the township has approved. Shall the Harsens Island Transportation Authority be authorized to levy up to 4.5 mils, $4.50 per $1,000 of taxable value upon all taxable property within the Harsens Island Transportation Authority's geographic boundaries. The boundary lines of voting precinct number 4, the Township of Clay, in the Township of Clay, for a period of 5 years, 2024 through 2028, inclusive, as new additional millage for the purpose of providing funds for public transportation services. It is estimated that 4.5 mils would raise approximately $866,223 when first levied in 2024. Yes or no? So that's the ballot language that we put on the website as you requested. So in simple terms, if your home's worth $500,000, your ESB value is $250,000, payouts $11.25 per year. If you purchase a book of 20 tickets per month now, or 20 tickets per month, like one book a month, you pay $2,400 for the year. Everyone's going to be different. HITA ferries only charge $100 for a book of 20, so you would only pay $1,200 a year. So the payout of $11.25 would be break even in 1 year for each year, it goes on. But anybody who needs help, as the board has instructed me, you can call me and, at 586-530-0113. You can send an email to the Harsens Island Authority email, which is harsensita@gmail.com. So that's basically it. And I think that's all you wanted me to do, right?
That's it.
Okay.
What about what?
That's what Ben says.
The fastest of the West.
The fastest of the West.
Thanks, Maureen.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we had to send it got sent back. We're going to go to the ballot vote now. It's sent back to us for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't get into it. But we have to do this again.
The wording was underneath the yes, no. They wanted it above the yes, no.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it. So Miller Canfield said he never saw anything like that, but St. Clair County wanted it that way, so we sent it back to them that way. Then they said you have to have a new resolution because it's different ballot language than you originally signed, so that's the reason for this meeting. But it basically has not changed other than moving positioning of the wording. Yes, no, I have to be able to do this. Okay.
Well, Skip, do you want to read the ballot?
Sure.
Yes. Go right on.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the ballot language as written. I'm going to read it. Harsens Island Transportation Authority operating millage proposal. Shall the Harsens Island Transportation Authority be authorized to levy up to 4.5 mils, $4.50 per thousand of taxable value upon all taxable property within the Harsens Island Transportation Authority's geographic boundaries, the boundary lines of voting precinct number 4 of the Township of Clay for a period of 5 years, 2024 through 2028, inclusive, as new additional millage for the purpose of providing funds for public transportation services. It is estimated that 4.5 mils would raise approximately $866,223 when first levied in 2024. Yes or no?
You should include the resolution too. Approve the resolution.
I'm sorry?
You should include to approve the resolution and the ballot language
Okay.
on your motion.
Okay, then I'll add on to approve the resolution to approve the ballot language.
I'll second that. Dennis seconds.
Okay. Roll call vote. Volak,
Yes.
Bain,
Yes.
Samansky,
Yes.
Torno, yes. Motion carries. The last thing we got is the poll challenge.
Poll challenge. I didn't know what poll challenge
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Gary, ask away.
So we have, when will this millage actually be on the ballot then? For February?
February 27th.
We'll have another meeting for HITA in January,
Yes.
13th.
January 13th.
January 13th.
It's not Friday, right?
Well, you know, based on some of the comments here, will we be able to do some type of presentation on this, or is this kind of like, this is the presentation?
What question? Great question. What presentation do you want here?
There's been a lot of lack of information.
I think maybe he's thinking is maybe as far as like maybe a town hall.
Would you like a town hall? Would you like us to do a town hall, you know, an
Well,
unofficial
I
town
guess,
hall?
you know, I'm
No,
not a board member now, just being an island resident.
No.
I mean, if this were a school millage, I'd want to know, what's it for?
Yeah.
And I think some of the questions that people asked were good questions.
That's fine.
And
That's
so
great.
I guess it's kind of like, yes, some people have, you know, could have gotten information. The information's always been there. We have been
Been there for 5 years.
very open as far as what's going on. It's on the web. You know, we're not holding any, you know, secret.
Okay, so instead of having a meeting, would we just rather have a town hall meeting but we all can't be there then because of the Open Meetings Act, only 2 of us can be there?
I don't know.
Well, why don't we do this? We have noted of the 6 or 7 folks that spoke up tonight and had
Yeah, I have.
valid questions.
Mhm.
He had 3 on the one there, but why don't we just answer those?
Put it on the website.
I mean, that's.
We can
because,
put it on the
I mean,
website.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do that.
And like, but immediately, you know, let's work on it this weekend and get it out there, so we're not, you know.
I mean, all I'm saying is, absence of information, people will form their own, you know, conclusion.
You know, we've been around for 5 years, so
Well,
I
that's
don't,
why I'm putting the one page together, remember, that's why I put it
I don't, you know, I can't tell people to come to every meeting. I can't tell people, hey, this is a HITA meeting, show up.
But you have everybody's address. Send a letter to everybody who.
If you're signed up on the Harsens website, you get emails.
I didn't know the website.
No, we're not going there. Stop.
Yeah, you get emails and you
Send
get.
a letter to everybody.
We are prohibited to challenge or to request, okay, all we can do is give out information. If you want to ask for it, then we can give it, but we cannot, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's a
By law, we cannot
Solicit.
and
I
do
can't
all
tell you
these
how to
things,
vote. I can't-
mailers and all this other stuff. We That's the problem that we have to fall under.
They can't do it. It's
You can't do
We
it.
can't do it.
Uninformed about
Unless
it.
you get the state of Michigan to change the rules.
I guess all I'm saying is, how do we address those concerns? Are we putting it
You
on
have
the
to address it
webpage?
at a town hall meeting that only 2 of us can show up to. That's how you can do it, that's how you would address that, I think, honestly.
So that the people that aren't informed get informed.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I mean, that's all I can say. I can't tell you how to vote, I can't tell you what to do, I can't solicit, say, hey, this is what we want you to do, I can't tell you everything, because it takes, 5 years of information to tell you this. I mean, the people that have been
Just
coming to
address
the
the
meeting.
questions.
Okay, so that, why, we have recorded, so we have the.
We have the questions, right?
So why don't, maybe I'm stepping out of whatever here, why don't we just put a piece of paper out here, and, or when we're done here, and have the person write their name and email or phone
Okay.
number, write their question down, a reasonable, an honest question, not, it's gonna snow tomorrow type of thing, but, and then we will,
Yeah, we can address that, right, we can address that right on the website.
They could just email it.
Isn't there a place on the website where you could do
yeah,
that?
you can.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can do it right now, tonight, and that way we can get on it.
You know how to get on the website, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with everything, I'm just talking about everybody else.
Yeah.
If they can get on the website, put their question down, put their address, put their name, you guys answer it.
But the answers are on the website too, if you read all the minutes.
Yeah, they're on the website.
All those
Everything.
questions that they ask are on the minutes.
They are not.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, he's right, some of them aren't on there, some of them aren't on there.
There was no email sent for this meeting, right?
No, this was a special meeting, we're allowed to do it 18 hours in advance.
But why no email?
It was put on the website.
Why no email?
I don't know, I didn't.
It's so easy to do.
Harold, can I say something?
No.
It's still.
Okay, so do we want to go back into public comments now? But we got to take a vote on this. We took the vote. Did we get the vote for the new millage proposal?
Yeah.
Recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, that's done. No, we're going to go to poll challengers recommendations. Then we'll come back, and then we're going to come back to one more time public comments, and then we're going to adjourn. So, okay, poll challengers. I didn't even know there was a poll challenger.
Maureen, you got some info on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so poll challengers can be from an organization, this is for your knowledge board that we talked about. Poll challengers can be from an organization with an interest on what is on the ballot. They must be credentialed by the organization and can make challenges in-person voting and on absentee ballot voting. So because you have a concern about this millage and the ballot being on the ballot, we have 5 people who have volunteered as poll challengers, and with your approval tonight, they can be trained and go through the process. So it's Whitey Simon, George Cavell, Neva Cavell, Susan Marlowe, and Chuck Kaka. So here's the list if you want to pass it down. So you can just.
What does a poll challenger do?
Um,
What's their role?
Well, let me-
I didn't even know this.
They challenge, if they can challenge an absentee ballot, they can challenge an in-person voting ballot, that maybe they could be in the wrong line. I sent you an email about it, you can read all about it, so, but
If
the
you
board,
Google it, it comes
the
right
board
up as the
will
first thing in the PDF, I kind of can't do.
train and have these people ready by the time, that they need to be on.
Do we feel
at the-
we need this?
At the polls. That's up to the board if you feel you need it or not. Someone asked me to put this together, so, I think it's a good idea to have somebody, that's my own personal opinion.
It's, every one, or every election has it, looking on Michigan.gov here.
Political
They're there,
parties
you
will
may not
have
see
them.
them. not here, but
organizations.
who's ever going through all the,
All right, I'll make the motion and we'll get poll challengers on. The people that you said, Whitey Simon, George Cavell, Nev Cavell, Susan Marlowe, and Chuck Kofka.
I'll second it. Question though, Maureen. Now, part of the process, do we then submit these names then to the township clerk? And then she looks at them and approves them or not, or how many do we get?
I will,
or-
yeah, we'll brief you on all of that. If you say that you want the poll challengers, I'll give you the entire,
Okay.
it's in the document that I sent you, but that all will be taken care of, and I'll send directions so that you can make it happen,
Okay.
if you decide you want to do it.
You just voted on it, so it's getting done.
Well, yeah, we got a motion on the floor and it was seconded, so we need to vote.
Okay. Gary?
Approve.
Skip?
Approve.
Harold, yes. Dennis?
yes.
Passes. I'm just trying to get everybody's name on here.
Yeah, just, go in history, we haven't really had a problem where we had to have actual,
Right.
poll challengers, like other municipalities would do or have, just because it's different, the circumstances, pretty much everybody out here is pretty honest. But it was brought up and suggested, and if you don't have the names and you don't put them up there, we'll never have it. So why not? That's not to say they're going to be able to do
Well,
it.
also, keep in mind, there's 9 days before the actual, voting day is February 27th, but there's 9 days prior to voting now that people can come in and vote.
Oh, we can vote.
And
9
then there's
days in a row.
absentee, so there's a lot, the vote is a lot different today than it was 5 or 10 years ago or pre-COVID. So poll challengers have been recommended by many people, and when you're an organization such as yourself, you're allowed to include them.
Fine, they won't include them. One more time for,
Oh, I'm sorry, Harold, did you make a motion? Because I didn't,
Yes.
if you did, I didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
yes, I made a motion to include poll watchers, and we voted on it.
Dennis seconded it.
Dennis seconded.
Those-
Well,
Skip
second.
seconded.
Or Skip.
Yeah, I think I did.
All right, public comments again.
I don't ask my questions to make your job any more difficult than it
No,
already
go ahead,
is.
Mark, go ahead.
But back to the public comments. Just like when I go to the township meetings and we give public questions, we never get a freaking answer back. So we're just left in the dark again, and it's just business as usual there. I just don't want to see that happen here. We have questions. I don't know if you can answer them at the time or not, but otherwise, people are forming their own information, and it's all bogus unless, if you can answer the question, just answer the damn question and be done with it. That's all I'm saying. We're all here. If you can answer it, answer the question. Instead of like the township meetings, that it's just, nobody cares. You have to keep bringing it up, and you never get an answer to your question. I'm done.
Thank you. Mr. Malik, sir.
I'm a little lost, okay? This is the first time I've been and knew this was ever happening, okay? And I've been coming here for a long time.
Yeah, I know you have.
So, the thing that confuses me, I heard a millage,
Yes.
okay? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I got a multi-million-dollar piece of property on the island. I'd rather pay the $15 for my tickets when I cross, okay? Rather than somebody take thousands of dollars from me for a millage that I have no control over, okay? At least I can control when I cross and when I come back, okay? And at the end of the day, I will tell you, $15, all the places you're talking about, ferries and all that stuff, I go to those places. And they're a hell of a lot more expensive than going across here from the mainland on the North Channel. So I think, we ought to do another little bit of look. I've been around a long time. I've lived here all my life. I'm 70 years old, okay? At the end of the day, there's always been a frustration over the ferry system, the Brysons, all these things. Some of it is jealousy, some of it is fact. But at the end of the day, there's got to be a way to solve some of these issues. If it's poor communications with the owners, Why can't we settle that? I volunteer right now to get on a board to go sit and meet with whatever you need done. But at the end of the day, to put a millage on my property, I would object, I'd fight this all the way, okay? Because I'm not paying any more taxes than I do today.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
And your name, we need names for public comments.
Mike Malik, he told you.
Oh. She didn't hear it.
And I'd like to ask.
I'm
if
sorry,
you're- if
sir,
you-
what was your name for the
Mike
record?
Malik, M-A-L-I-K, 8117 South Channel Drive.
Thank you.
Why would you not have a millage just for the study? Just a millage for that? Why are you putting that's a big amount of money putting on all of us residents. Why would you not just put
The
a,
study is useless without the property. The property has to be purchased. The
I
study
don't want-
includes the property, and if you don't finish this, if you don't have the property, then you have to start the study all over again. The study's no good. Then you spent all that money for nothing.
so I'm buying someone a piece of property?
It's for you. It's for
Not for
you.
me.
Thank you for your comment.
John DeBoyer, 8999 Peace Road. I just want to make a public comment and let people know that if you own an island in the St. Clair Flats or on Dickinson Island, you own property, you're included in Precinct 4. You will never use that ferry, you will never receive a benefit, nor, unless you're homesteaded, can you vote on this millage. That's taxation without representation.
Yeah.
And I hope that you guys will take that into consideration and not unjustly force a millage down people's throat that don't even have a vote on whether or not they want that millage. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, public comments are closed. I move to adjourn.
Second.
Dennis?
Yes.